Yes.
Is there any update on like the returns for like Figueroa and Gage and second half?
Yeah, I mean, Gage isn't throwing yet. He's going through a rehab process, so, not worth kind of messing with that calendar. But Figueroa's not too far off from facing hitters, probably a couple weeks away. But he's been thrown off the mound. Feels good, looks good, at least based off video.
What about Cox?
Cox is a little bit ahead of Barracuda just because it happened earlier, but they're both kind of in the same process where they're getting treatment, but they're also doing baseball activities. So yeah, he's a little bit ahead of where Barracuda's at. I would like to think within a couple weeks both those guys would be healthy. Could be sooner. I mean, both those guys are really physically fit. I asked Cox when last time he had a carb was, and he said it's been a while. So I'd assume he'll recover quicker than others. But again, that's one of those with the twisting and turning, kind of like a hamstring, upper body version of a hamstring. You'd rather really be in the clear before you do something.
Carson's had a couple of starts this year, but do you envision this being his first opportunity to get some real runway with McDonald's status kind of ambiguous?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I don't think anything's a guarantee for obvious reasons, but I think this one looks like it's the most opportune time for him to be able to, and it won't be judged off how he does, tomorrow. Sometimes things are based off what you can control, and then a lot of things are based off what you can't control. So maybe it's circumstantial, but on paper it looks the most like that.
It's your third American League team facing like consecutively. I know we're in July, but like for you, how's the preparation been in terms of just like knowing what these teams have to offer, given that it's their first time seeing them?
Going back to the old cliche about control what you control, the one thing that's been, I think, developing over the course of the year for our staff is just how we prepare in general. So it hasn't been so much about the team as it us getting to know each other, trying to cover blind spots, maybe dishing off responsibility to somebody different. So it's kind of been a little bit more like that. And then to be honest with you, had former teammates in town last night. For whatever reason, our team seems to be a team where it doesn't matter who we're playing or what the numbers say on the scoreboard. We've had times where we faced a guy with an ERA that's at 10 and not perform well, and then you see Miller in Seattle, who's got one of the best ERAs in the league, and our guys look like one of the best offenses in the league. So it's kind of it always should be about our best beats theirs, but with this year in particular, our staff and the way the team has played it, more now than ever, it seems to be more about just kind of us.
I know we talked about it a little bit last night, but both of Rafi's big swings, the homer and the walk-off, they were preceded by Bryce drawing, walk, really competitive at-bats. How have you seen, now that we've gotten like a really extensive sample size of them, how do you see them kind of playing off each other in a sense of what they can both do with the bat as left-handed power guys?
Well, I think the playing off each other starts in spring training and has carried over into here. Is they're next to each other all the time over there at first base. I think Rafi's helped them out a lot on defense. They've got a good relationship. Rafi's incredibly cerebral. I've said that before at the plate. So I think Bryce is a sponge. And whether it's a guy that plays a similar position or it could even be a pitcher, he's always looking for information on how to get better. And then Bryce has made comments about how important he wants to be to this franchise. He's put action to words just on the social, if that's the right word, social aspect of it. And he's deeply entrenched with everybody in the organization and trying more and more to get stuff out of people. So I think when those two are in the lineup at the same time, you got Rafi's a guy who's gotten better with the walks, but in his career has always been kind of what Bryce is. It's a one-punch threat. They got the touch of death, as they say, as far as power goes. So they're one pitch away from doing a lot of damage, but they can also grind out an at-bat. And, yeah, Bryce proceeded in the first inning, but I thought the extra inning was more incredible because Bryce has the biggest moment of the year this year in this stadium, and it's so easy to want to recreate that. And instead of going outside of himself, he trusted the guy behind him, and it's a pretty good guy behind him.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, does that even surprise you anymore? Like, for his ability to understand the situation, like, there's a base open, there's an out, like, I don't have to be a hero here. Like, just the poise that he's showed, or is it kind of just common at this point?
Not really. It's, again, at first it was, hey, let's build confidence, let's do that, nitpick this and that, and he's forced our hand. He's past that stage. So Now, there's plenty of other challenges to come by, and he's shown what he can do, but as all these baseball guys got to deal with, it's like rep after, can you do it again? Can you do it again? Can you do it again? So you never got this whole thing figured out, but as far as that process and his growth, I feel like we're past that stage.